Hello everyone, Galactic Seas. We're going to do another run at the ladder here through the Gods Unchained uh, game. Trying to figure out which deck I want to run. Let's run the mid-late from the Deception God. Definitely one of my favorites. It's gotten us pretty far. Wait, actually, before we do that, let's do a quick update. There's a card in here. There it is, the very first 2 money card. I want to take that out and see about adding something different. Let's see it. Let's click on show owned and go from here, see what card would be best for me to replace that with. I like the cards with order, especially this one, order 3. You have to wait 3 turns until it activates. However, it is a minion that's just sitting there for 3 turns until it activates, so you don't really have anything on the board up until it wakes up. It's a good card. It's a good card. It really is a good card. But with the meta and how things are going right now, you really need some minions on the board to kind of keep pressure. Doxer Parlor is another good card. I do want to keep it with a 2 mana card. Let's start adding this to our deck, see how it works. It'll give us a buff for one of our minions. Alright, let's jump right in and see how we do. Maybe not. Seems to happen more often than not lately. Okay, I did upload a video with in which I talked about the forge and forging and crafting NFTs. So turning cards that you own or cards that you have earned and crafting them into NFTs. If you want to check that out, it'll be the video previous to this, or it might be the video after this. I think I have another one to edit. There may be a second one coming. Just keep tabs on the subscription and don't forget to click that notification button so you know when I'm uploading new content. Let's use the God Power of Thievery. Add a random 1 mana card from your opponent's domain to your hand. It's pretty strong, especially against the mage. The mage has some pretty good 2 mana or 1 mana drops in their arsenal. Starting off early, I did want to go with this. I did want to keep this 3-drop because it has ward. Ward works well against the mage. We're going to use one of our mana coins. If you go first, you get 1 mana coin that can be used once per turn. If you go second, you get 3 mana coins that you can use throughout the game that again can only be used once per turn. The mana wheel goes all the way up to 9 mana. Once you get to 5 mana, the next unlockable mana crystal, the 6th one, will take 2 turns to unlock. You'll do 5 turns at 1 mana, then 6 turns that will get you to 5.5 mana, not 6 mana completely. I just sent this card back. It's the one we just traded, remember? Let's be mana efficient so we can clear. We'll use our mana coin and pull out our 3 card. Once you hit 5 mana crystals, on your next turn, the mana crystals will unlocked will not be 6, it'll be 5.5. Do not make the mistake of using your mana crystal at 5 mana and thinking that you'll unlock the 6th mana crystal. I've done that too many times. It does not work. It only gets you to 5.5 mana coins at that point. This one's tough to clear because it's a 4/5 with frontline. Frontline means I want to attack that before I attack anything else. I'm debating on see which cards we want to play. I do want to see what kind of cards they have in hand. Normally I would hit that 3-4 for 3 damage, however, it might make it it'll make it tougher for them to try to board clear that on their own. Also, if I save this and I survive their turn, once I attack with this guy, she will be able to ignore the front line and she can attack the hero right away, which her activation is when they attack the opposing god hero, you get a copy of a card from your opponent's deck. So by them going first, unlocking 1 mana crystal earlier, and then unlocking a 2nd mana crystal now, definitely puts them at a pretty good advantage. That's a good card for it to draw. We're going to play that card. I like to call it the gnome card. It's actually Inconspicuous Carriage. That's a good card to have. You get to choose to deal 1 damage to each creature or 3 damage to a creature. We could probably use that to clear this later. Now this has also spell damage, so any spells that they throw at us will have an additional hit added to them. The gnome is one of my favorites because if they don't clear it correctly, which means if they clear this or kill it before they use up most or all their mana crystals, this card will shuffle more. It'll shuffle bombs into their deck, depending on however many mana crystals they have left. They're hoping that I hit the 4-2 with my 2-4, which I'm not gonna do. It won't force them to play cards so that it doesn't, so that they don't have bombs shuffled into their deck. Let's use this card against them. We'll deal 3 damage here. Normally I would have liked to have done my hero power and then seen what kind of options we had there. We could have had a 1 mana drop that would have been to our favor. Also keep an eye on the Forge. Oof, that's a very tough card. Let's see. We can clear that with our 2-4. We're going to use this card, which will give our 2-4 deadly or poison. There we go. The cards with poison or with armor are pretty tough to get around. We will be at 6 mana next turn. I want to use my coin now, just so that we can foresee 2 cards and draw a card. Foresee means that you can see 2 cards coming up ahead. And if you highlight a card, that card will be sent back to the bottom of your deck. We do want that 7 mana bolt, even though 7 mana is 2 turns away. It'll help put a heavy pressure on the board. This is a tough call. I can use both of these cards to clear. However, I'm spending 6 mana to, well, I guess it is a 6 mana card. I'm using 6 mana to clear a 6 mana card. Well, actually maybe not. This will do damage to itself. Not the most ideal, but really not much options we had there. Maybe we did. Man, what a waste. That card would have been excellent. 5, 6, 7 mana. Okay. So by using this card on here, it'll send this card back and give it an additional cost of 2 mana. The card that we just used was a deal damage equal to that creature's strength. Would have been great against this card. What I could have done earlier also is given used this 2 mana card, give +3/-1 to one of your creatures, and then at the end of the turn give it hidden. So this creature would have become a 7 damage. Packed with the 4, that would have been more than 9. And then with the spiked T, and then it would have saved us our hunting trap, which we now obviously need. Let's send this back. Just so that it costs more. And let's pull out a minion. We gotta pay attention more. Okay. We are sending the cards one turn too early here, guys. Unfortunately. That's alright. Let's see how we do with this. I'm not sure how quick they'll be to clear this. They may use their mana up first and then clear it. We'll see. Oof, no bueno. Very much a control deck. I'm definitely going to go back and revise my deck here after this. Looks like we're getting into later games. We're passing those very early minion heavy decks that we were going up against before. Let's try this and see what we find. Let's use that now so that they have to play it again for, I believe that was 8 mana. If I'm not mistaken. Well, we can't see that now. There it is. Let's use the card on our Guild Enforcer. Let's not waste this guide. They can definitely board clear it. Now this is hidden until next turn. I will take 10 hits of damage. However, next turn I'll be able to clear that 10-6. But we do have another bigger minion coming, I'm pretty sure. There we go. We're going to use the Wiznapper and send these 2 cards back. Umber Arrow is not useful to us right now. That's okay. We're building up our God Favor, which is the number 14 that you see here. We would be able to use it later on in our Sanctum. We could have used it earlier to pull that front line. Oh, 5 damage. That's pretty good. Wow, they have all the board clears, don't they? That's definitely an effective deck. One of the cards that we needed earlier. I will be revising my deck after this. I have been running more into later game decks. Guys, we're missing the mark just by a turn or 2. Now they have 2 big minions that we sent back. They're probably going to be coming back here. They're about 3 turns ahead of us. They're already at 9 mana. They may hit our bull with the 2-1. Definitely board cleared them. Alright, we're going to throw out our Shadow Paladin. It has him for 1 tune. We are going to have to sacrifice this to that. we only had a 1 mana card, I believe, which we already used. So let's delete that. Oh, I got by that card again. So that card only it doesn't obliterate the creature, it only obliterates cards in your deck with cards of that same cost. That card just reduces the amount of cards you have in your deck. Alright, we were doing pretty good. We definitely got the game got away from us because of different choices that we made throughout the game. Unfortunately, they're not the best. Here's some of our early cards that we may have wanted to have earlier. We'll board clear the best we can here. Take their 2 mana card. Go against that. Let's use our hero power before we use this to see if we have anything else. We are going to use this card, Ancient Text, to deal 2 damage. We'll deal 2 damage to that. End our turn and see what we got next. That card doesn't have protected, which is great. We removed it earlier and did damage to it. When the 2 cards that we sent back were returned, they were returned in the same manner that they left the board in. That was something that was actually kind of, I had to learn with trial by error with that. Another Guild Enforcer, which would be great. That card, when you summon a creature, when it builds up to 10 health, it gives you spell boost plus 1. This has order right here, which is the 9. It starts out with order 10. Each turn, the one tick of order is removed until it doesn't have order any longer. So it's just kind of sitting on the board until it's unlocked, which is until the end of its order amount or until it's cleared. This is a pretty good deck. They're definitely running a lot of high minions. It's something that I'm going to have to switch to, like I said earlier. Seems like the meta is heading that direction right now. This is a very good card, is one of my favorites from them. They may have in hand a card that does 5 damage. If that's the case, we're done. Or even a card that does 3 damage. This card here has Protected and Ward. So Protected is the gold shield, Ward is the blue shield. Protected, 1-time protection from damage. Ward is 1-time protection from like hero power damage or AoE damage, so on. The Hog's not really helpful to us right now, so let's send that guy back. We'll use our gnome. If they're able to clear this, then they can finish the game next turn. Rapture Dance will keep, just so we can see what we have coming up with here. Six cards in deck, and most of them are going to be our early start cards. We can tell by keeping track of the cards that we played, not just that, but also by looking in our Sanctum. We had quite a few of the early cards. Most of the cards that we needed throughout the game came later, unfortunately. the card that's coming up next will be able to help us board clear at least this, and then do 5 damage to that. Okay. Rapture Dance, deal damage to each enemy creature equal to the number of enemy creatures on the board. Let's go ahead and do that. They have 7 cards left in their deck. I have 5. Weirdly did that didn't work out too well for us. Okay. Let's board clear this guy. And see what else they have in store. Man, what a game. That blue shield will protect it from their hero power. That's the reason I like this card. It'll take one time protection from damage, and also one time protection. Oh, blocks one instance of Distort, Transform, Sleep, or non-attack damage from any opponent source. That card lets us both draw a card, which is good. They're at 5 cards now. I'm at 4. We're going to be getting the cards that we send back. I could use this Stone Skin Poison. I really like this card. It's pretty fun. It keeps other cards in check. Would have been nice to have it earlier, but that's okay. I was going to go for that card in the Sanctum. However, I did want to keep drawing cards. Rapture Dance would be fine now because it'll save us from 5 damage. Not the most ideal, but at least it helps us stay in game. The game's over. Next turn they're gonna choose deal 3 damage to an enemy character. That's any enemy character, and they may have a damage card in hand already. They also have 4 cards in their arsenal still. They may be minions, or they may be minion clearing. There it is. 5 damage plus the 3 damage from the Sanctum. There we go. Well, it's not a win, but we definitely walked away with a different perspective. Like I said before, I'm going to review the deck that I'm running and change some cards up. It's really, really important to obviously really analyze all of the plays that you have available, because we could have been a lot more efficient with how we cleared the earlier big minion. We could have saved one of our cards and then use that later on to clear different bigger minions. Well, that's it for this stream, guys. I'll be uploading it here soon. Keep in mind, I am doing a continuation of The Forge. It will be 2 videos of that, so keep that in mind. Subscribe or hit the notification button so you know when I have new content coming out. Thanks for watching.